Good morning. We are on the move once again. Sarah's behind the wheel and we are driving down the road which we cycled down yesterday. So this is straight from Damaso. We're going down the western side just a little bit. I think we go to Menaggio, don't we? And then we have to turn off to start heading towards Switzerland and the Jungfrau, which is where we're off to today. Feels like a good time to be leaving Lake Como because I've got really fond memories of it now in the sun. Just beautiful day yesterday. It was just, you couldn't have asked for better weather really for us. And now it's what, 14.5 degrees, says the car van. Sarah's got the heated steering wheel on. It's that chilly. I've got the heated seat on.
Kind of wondering why I'm wearing shorts, t-shirt and sandals, to be entirely honest.
We definitely haven't adjusted to it being this kind of temperature, but good news is the forecast in the Jungfrau is for about 20-ish degrees at the campsite. Obviously at the Jungfrau kind of viewing platform and on the mountain more like 1 degree and snowing apparently, so that could be fun. Yeah, we'll see how this trip goes. Everything looks good. Google's done its...
Something's just fell out of the... Poor packing in the roof space.
I think, yep, that's Sarah's souveniring.
Oh, I thought you could say my poor packing.
Well, it is.
Yeah,
it
kind of is, isn't it?
And yes, that was basically some souvenirs that just rained down on me. So, I'll go and fix that. Sarah's going to crack on with some driving. We bought some amazing looking pistachio croissants for this morning, so really looking forward to have those when we find somewhere nice to pull in and have a quick break. So yeah, let's see how this journey goes. Sarah's doing another lovely job of the huge switchbacks, climbing our way up the side of Lake Como. It does look absolutely stunning. It's just when you look at the sat nav and it's got twists and turns like that, but because I'm passengering today, I get to look at the lovely view. It's an early one this morning. It is 7 a.m, which means that we've been up since 6.
Or just before.
Yeah, so had a shower and all that stuff. And the reason for that is because this is the only little window of time where the weather forecast on Meteo Suisse, if you have a look at it, it says that it's going to be clear at the top of the Jungfrau. Now this is one of the main reasons we wanted to come here. So we can get a train from the centre here at 7:30 to get us up there for 9:10.
Something like that. And it's substantially cheaper.
Yeah,
to do it first thing in the morning as well.
Morning ticket. So we're heading down to the station and going to catch that one at 7:30, just so we can manage to see what we want to see at the top of Europe before it clouds over and gets a bit thunderstormy later. So fingers crossed that doesn't happen too soon. So the station is about a 20-minute walk from the campsite, something like that, just straight through the centre. Wait for this truck to go past. And we need to be on platform 3. apparently, for the train. It's got one stop where you have to get off, and then there's a cogwheel train which takes you all the way to the top. So there we go, that is the station here. This is train number 2, heading to train number 3. We're finally on it, the final leg.
Well,
we think.
did you do any recording whilst we were in the ticket hall upstairs?
A tiny bit.
Okay, so we have waited about an hour and a half in a hot ticket hall, staring at snow on mountains, getting hotter and hotter and hotter, which is quite ironic. But we're finally on a train. Hey!
Which seems to have empty seats, which is odd. But hey ho, doesn't matter. We're
Don't
on
complain,
it.
we're on it.
We're on it. So let's see what this is all about. Welcome to the top of Europe then.
Roasting.
And apparently Sarah's roasting.
Don't forget, you gotta let know all you can. Don't look back, don't forget, you gotta let know all you can. Don't you wait.
So, around another corner, there's another queue. Trouble is, I don't think there's stairs to this. It's definitely the lift or nothing,
I don't
isn't
think
it?
I'd want to climb the stairs given
No.
the thinness of the...
Cause you gotta let know all you can. Gotta let know all you can. Don't look back, don't forget, you gotta let know all you can. Don't look back, don't forget, you gotta let know all you can.
Well, the thing to say if you're here is be prepared for it to be busy. Because look at this. It's the top of Europe, but it feels like you're in the middle of a city. It's absolutely heaving with people. But I tell you what, it's really, really breathtaking. Just look at that view. It's amazing. Well, we're done in our fairly rushed couple of hours.
Yeah.
Actually felt quite quick, but we did have a morning only ticket and it took a while to get up there, so we're on the right train going back. We haven't had to pay extra because we're late, which is good, and we're going to try to see if we can get the cable car on the way down rather than the train, just to do something different. See whether we can do it. So we've made it. We are on the Eiger Express. Sarah's sitting in her little seat.
Having a neck ache here though.
At the front on the window, as always.
Facing the wrong way.
Just stand. morning everyone, welcome to our quick tour of Camping Jungfrau. This is in Lauterbrunnen, which is just north of Interlaken. So we're in Switzerland. It's absolutely beautiful. I'm sure if you've seen videos of this campsite before, you'll know the kind of surroundings that we're in. But honestly, you have never ever seen a campsite like this before. It's incredible, absolutely incredible. The scenery is to die for. So let me give you a quick tour round of where we start the kind of entrance to the campsite. I'll just show you the kind of amazing scenery that you see just as you're approaching the campsite. Then we'll have a quick wander around. I'll show you the kind of facilities that it's got there and what our pitch is like. So let me start the tour just on the road just as we come up. Okay then, so this is the road from Lauterbrunnen, which brings you straight through the centre of the town and then towards the campsite. And as you're coming down, if I just pan round, you're met with delights such as this, a 300-metre waterfall. These incredible mountains. And then if I just come back to the road here, this is how you enter the campsite. So you've got, sorry about the helicopters, lots of tours going on today, a footway down here, which you can walk yourself down to all of the kind of little shop and kind of reception area, which is just down here. But this is the main entrance. So when you're in your camper, motorhome, etc., or maybe camping, this is where you come and walk down. So straight down here, and when we get to the bottom, you have to swing it round to the left, and then that takes you down to the reception area where you need to check in. But you can already see that this is a campsite which is effectively right in the base between different mountain ranges. So you can see there that incredible scenery, snow-capped mountains in the background, and the campsite is straight in front of us there. So like I say, if you probably have never seen anything like this before. Now I'm going to take this quick shortcut down these steps here just to get you down to reception. But obviously in a motorhome or camper van, you'd go round the corner in the van. So just here in this little car parking area, obviously you've got recycling for bottles and all your rubbish and other bits and pieces. I'll talk about the restaurants in a minute, or the restaurant and bar and things in a minute, and why there's a little food truck here. So you'll have come in just down around the corner here, and then when you come down here, this is where you come under this incredible tarpaulin. So even if it's raining, it's all good. You can pull in round here, and then you've got the check-in area at the top. So let me just tell you what we've got here then. So we have got a bar here. This fantastic little bar is open, let me get this right, Wednesday, is that right? Where are we today? Wednesday. It's open Thursday to Monday. So we arrived on a Monday here, I think, and I'll just need to double check. And it was open, but then it's shut for 2 days. And when we continue coming up here, you've also got a restaurant, which also is closed for those same 2 days as the bar. So just be prepared for that if you're coming. I think it's quite surprising that it's not open 7 days. We did manage to get a table in there. You do need to book. It does get really busy. But it was quite surprising they didn't open for 7 days, because I think the campsite could take it. And then you've got the shop and reception. So let's go in. So when you first come in, that's where you do all of your checking in and everything. So you park your van, you come in here, you give them all of your reservation stuff and everything else, and they'll sort you out there. Then if you need any supplies or other bits and pieces, they've got it all in this little shop for you. Obviously all of your fresh breads, croissants, all those kind of things, all your fresh vegetables and all of your fruit and those kind of things. If you want a Switzerland t-shirt, Switzerland underwear, Switzerland hat, you've got the full load in here. Obviously there's loads of tourist shops around, you don't have to buy things in here, but it's easy and handy if you want to. What I would say is just be careful in this shop. It is quite pricey, so I don't know what you're used to looking at price-wise for things at home, but if I just pick on kind of anything random in here, so a smallish Toblerone, 360 Swiss francs. Packet of biscuits there, they're 480 Swiss francs. So let's have a look at the other essentials. So things like beer in here. So let's pick something local. So one of those bottles, 210. Actually, that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. So yeah, just try and buy local produce if you can, rather than imported stuff. That will help you out. They do camping gas, bottle refills, obviously a huge selection of Victorinox knives as well, as you would imagine. Lovely Swiss made. Not sure we'll talk about that. Coffee. But that then gives you a bit of an idea of what you've got in the little shop here, which really is handy to have on site. Now, where I said you could walk down from the road rather than coming down where the campervans come down, that brings you out just here. So you don't have to walk down the main road bit where all the campervans and motorhomes are coming. You can just use the little footway. And obviously if you're going to go and have a walk around Lauterbrunnen, it's really good to do that. So the site's got good free Wi-Fi. You just register with a credit card, but don't be worried about that. All it's doing is just checking your ID, that's all. And it gives you 30 days worth of free internet access for up to 5 devices, which is really handy and works quite well. We've had no problems. We've streamed a bit of Netflix and other things, no issue whatsoever. There's a decent sized kitchen in here if you're going to use a camping kitchen. So you can see loads of really decent facilities, microwave, hob, obviously good wash-up area and those kind of things. Lots of pots and pans in here, so if you are camping and you haven't got a load of stuff with you, you can certainly do it there. Good swings, always like good swing. And then there's a lounge in here where again you can relax, some games, nice fire if it's needed. But weather-wise, we're here towards the end of June and it's been about 12-13 degrees overnight and about 22-23 during the day. So I've got a jacket on at the moment. It's just first thing in the morning. It gives you a bit of a sense of the temperatures. Right, let's show you the actual campsite then. So once you checked in and everything else, a helpful chap or lady will come and give you a guided tour to your pitch. They use electric bikes and kind of little scooters to show you around the pitch. And I wouldn't say it's the flashiest of campsites in terms of the actual pitches themselves. If you're used to, you know, caravan and motorhome club site or something like that, where you've got perfectly level pitches with, you know, concrete standing or, you know, really hard gravel standing, that kind of thing, not really going to be for you here, because most of this campsite, as you can see, is grass but with a bit of gravel in it. So if I kind of show you this empty one here, you can probably see there's just a little bit of gravel, but you can see it has been raining quite a bit, which means it's been quite tricky for some people to get on and off their pitches. So it's definitely worth it. You can see there's some mud on the ground here where people have been having a go the first thing this morning. So it can be quite tricky, and we were slightly concerned, I have to say, when we first arrived. We were concerned that we were going to end up potentially getting stuck on the pitch, but it's not rained since we've been here yet, and we go tomorrow, so I think we'll be okay. Someone else leaving reasonably early this morning. So if I show you our pitch, this is this one down here. You can see the state of some of the pitches, though. It can be a little bit wet. They were saying to us when we first checked in, they were really worried they might end up having to actually section some of the campsite off because it was getting so wet. But we've managed to not sink into the mud or anything like that on our pitch, and this is what we've got. So electric hookup, we've obviously reversed in because of the way that our door is, and we've had the awning out. They do have a few of these kind of wooden deck boards lying around, which was very, very helpful when it was very squelchy underfoot, because as you would imagine, trying to get in and out of your van and trying to keep it in any way clean would have been a real challenge. So yeah, very handy that. But this certainly gives you a bit of an idea of where you'd be from your pitch, and then all you need to do is make sure you keep looking up, because we come out of our door in the morning and see that waterfall for the entire time we're here. Isn't that just the most spectacular campsite view? If I just, that is thunder, if you can hear that. That's slightly worrying with a clear sky. And you're completely surrounded by the mountains. It's absolutely stunning. What an amazing location for a campsite. But clearly the water can be an issue just because of where the location is, so do bear that in mind. Right, anyway, let's go on up to the facilities block, give you a quick idea of what that is. So you come up here and then around to the left, and then we'll just have a quick stroll up here. So this facilities block that we're about to see, you're going through the same door for men and women. Men is on the left hand side, women's on the right hand side, and you've got lots of shower cubicles, the most ferocious power hot water showers that you've ever seen. Don't have to pay for them separately or anything like that. They're all included in your pitch price. Very clean toilets. Yes, they've got toilet seats. Yes, they've got toilet paper. It's all good. So that's the entrance to that. It's quite busy this morning. I'm not going to go in there with a camera, but very, very good facilities. And then round the back, just here, is where you have, as you can see, motorhome grey water drop off, and as you can see, it says it's a camping bus station, which basically means you can fill up with water. I think they're about to just do that, and it's quite handy really, because you can just reverse up, fill up what you need. Lovely Cathargo there, and off you go. So really, let's be honest, this campsite, it's about the location. If you're thinking about going to see the top of Europe, as it's termed, the Jungfrau observatory point on the train, incredible campsite to do it from. You can easily walk to the station from here. There's no issues with that whatsoever. It takes about 20 minutes to walk down to the station. But who doesn't want to wake up when you're camping to that view in the morning? It is just stunning. It may well be that it's the time of year or something else going on, but Lauterbrunnen definitely seems to be the most touristy place we've been to on our entire trip so far. When we drove down here, you probably saw that little bit of footage, just how many people there are wandering around. So do be careful when you drive down to the campsite. It's very busy with tourists, they've got no idea where they're going or what they're looking at.
Well, and their Instagram opportunity is most definitely their key concern.
Yeah, and they're definitely not looking out for motorhomes, camper vans and cars. So we've been guilty of that, having to leap out the way a few times. It's just so pretty around here, but do watch out for it. It is really busy here. Now we're having a lovely start to the morning this morning because the sun is out again, which is amazing. But we met one of our subscribers. Well, we were stopped in the street here in Lauterbrunnen yesterday by one of our subscribers who runs a cafe, a coffee shop, and it does breakfast and lunch. So we promised him we would go and have a coffee there this morning. Just on our way down, I think we're going to go to the station. We'll find somewhere to explore today, but it's starting the day with hopefully a good coffee. And if it isn't good, I'm not going to tell him it's not good, because he's a very nice guy. So let's get to that coffee shop here in Lauterbrunnen. So this is one of the big attractions here in Lauterbrunnen. It's the waterfall, and you've seen us on a couple of clips already, but what you've got here is a really nice little kind of touristy area that they've set up with these logs. So what you can do is you can go and stand on the logs there and have your photo taken with the waterfall, which is very pretty. And I think later on,
all the way up to it and actually go and get wet.
yes, you can do that too. I think later on, I think we need to go and do that. There's also a drinking fountain there of fresh glacier water, which is going to certainly start your day well. So later on, when it's slightly quieter, because that is one benefit of camping here, that later on, when everyone's gone away from their day trips, it does get a little bit quieter. I think good photo opportunity there. It's only about a sort of 500-600 metre walk from the campsite right into the centre here of Lauterbrunnen. It's very picturesque. There's also lots of easy parking here as well, so if you are camping in a tent or you're visiting another local area and you want to come here for the day, lots of easy parking, which I think you said was free, didn't you, yesterday? Yeah, so
I think there's a maximum amount of hours, but I think it's
yeah,
free.
very good. We're about at the centre of Lauterbrunnen now, and as you can see, you've got your usual kind of shops that you'd expect in somewhere like this. So you've got cafe bars, you've got an Intersport if you want t-shirts or any sports gear or anything like that. There's cycle hire, souvenir shops, quite a bit really. Lots of different selection of things. Not very big, but it certainly has its share of HGVs trundling through, and obviously roadworks as well. So here's our coffee stop called Flavours. Let's get in there. I'm starting to feel like I need for some breakfast. Right, we've sorted ourselves out now, so a big shout out to Lucas here, who runs this fantastic coffee shop. If you are here in Lauterbrunnen and you want coffee, just take a look at these. Couple of beautiful flat whites. They also do lunch, burgers, all that kind of stuff as well. So yeah, do check them out here. Really, really nice, friendly bloke, and he's got a fantastic Ascot Grey California parked just behind me. And the verdict on the coffee? It's good, really good. So our time here at the Jungfrau is drawing to a close, unfortunately.
And we're in the van because there's quite a big thunder and lightning storm going on outside.
Yeah.
Been brewing for a little while and been threatening for a while, but it's felt like it's needed it.
Definitely, it's been a bit sweaty this afternoon, hasn't it? So yeah, good to have the rain come. Well, not good to have the rain come down because there's puddles literally around the van. Whether we'll get off the pitch tomorrow or not, who knows? But yes, our time here has come to an end, or is coming to an end tonight, and a bit of a reflection really on the time we've had here in the Jungfrau. So we have had a brilliant time, I would say, a really brilliant time. Been here 2 full days, so we've had 3 nights at Camping Jungfrau.
Well, we will have had 3 nights after tonight, yeah.
2 full days, and obviously we go tomorrow. Bit of a shame, as I mentioned in the tour video of the campsite, bit of a shame that the bar and the restaurant here at the campsite is only open 5 days a week, and we happen to be here for 3 nights and it's open for 1 of those. So poor planning on our part, but if you're having and you want that kind of thing here, then just look at the dates that it's open. And
but yeah, they have got their takeaway little hut thing that comes
Yeah.
along to do the what is it, Sri Lankan sort of
Yeah.
food.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of places down in Lauterbrunnen that you can
Yeah.
buy bits and pieces.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's not as
so-
though you can't eat if you're here and you've forgotten to buy anything
Yeah.
or whatever. And the shop and the reception is open 7 days as well, until 6:30 in the evening actually. So quite
Yeah.
good times for that.
You're not going to starve.
No. So in terms of what we've done here, yesterday all about going up to the Jungfrau and all the activities up there. Today we decided we were going to go to Interlaken for the day on the train and just have a look round really, walk from one lake to the other lake through the middle of Interlaken. It's small enough for you to be able to do that in a couple of hours, nice stroll,
Yeah, with a bit of in and out of the shops, a quick stop for
a beer.
a beer, and off we went again, and a bit of
Very
lunch
nice.
and things. It's very, very pleasant down
Very
in
nice.
Interlaken.
And
Lovely.
if you've got your Speedos, you can have a dip in the lake as well, in the river which connects the two lakes.
Yeah.
You put your toes in, didn't you?
You need to be a fairly strong swimmer.
Yeah, it's
the
quite a current.
current is going. There was a
Yeah.
chap who got in. Apparently, it was 13 degrees C in
Yeah, he
there.
had
Who
a
got a
thermometer with him,
thermometer. It felt colder than that. I took my shoes off and put my feet in, and whew, that was chilly. It got to the point where it hurt my feet, and they'd probably only been in there a minute or two, something like that.
Yeah.
But it was quite painful, but lovely.
But I tell you what, the colour of that water,
Oh,
it's like glacial
turquoise.
turquoise water. You just wouldn't believe it. You've got to see it with your own eyes. It's like you've got a pair of shades on which do that colour filtering thing. It's just, it's incredible.
Yeah.
But the Jungfrau then, obviously a massive attraction here. Switzerland, all the posters claim it to be Switzerland's #1 tourist attraction. If you have a look on TripAdvisor, some people might say other than that, because of some of the experience that they've had.
I think if we'd have looked at TripAdvisor before we did it, we might have thought twice about going and doing it, because I think it's fairly safe to say that our experience of going and doing the Jungfrau probably hit the nail on the head with most of the more recent TripAdvisor posts.
Yeah. So I think there's a few.
Yeah.
Basically, it's quite touristy.
Quite?
Very touristy.
It's like Alton Towers on steroids.
So if you're expecting to go up there and it be quite tranquil, quite moody, if you like, so you're able to take in all the scenery and like peaceful and everything else, no way is it like that. It's very commercialised, lots of advertising everywhere, lots of shops, restaurants, that kind of thing, lots of photo opportunities.
That you have to queue for.
Yeah, but I think there's a couple of main issues with the Jungfrau, and this is not a negative video against the Jungfrau. We found it incredible. It's an incredible experience.
Yeah. If you want to do it, go and do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. We bought an early morning ticket, so we had to be on one of the first 3 available modes of transport to get up there. So we were at the train station here at Lauterbrunnen at 7:30 in the morning.
Yep.
On that first one, then you go up to a place that I won't try and pronounce on video, where you change trains, and it goes up to another place which is the Eiger Glacier station.
Yes.
Which again, I'm not going to try and pronounce it entirely. And from there, you get your final train right up to the Jungfraujoch, up
so
at the top.
There's only one track up to the top, and trains do go up there frequently, but it's a bit of a pinch point, the station just beneath that.
The Eiger Glacier
the
one.
Eiger Glacier one, because they've installed a new cable car, which is incredible.
Yeah, do that if you get the chance to.
And that goes from Grindelwald.
Yeah.
So do that cable car either on the way up or the way down. It's got, 44 gondolas on it, something like that.
It's incredible.
It's
so long.
It's about a 15-minute cable car ride, but it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Very quick, very, very good indeed. We didn't do that on the way up, we did it on the way down, and on the way up we got the train. And the problem is you've got so many people arriving at that one station, which then all have to get that little train
That final
up
train
to the
up,
top
yeah.
of the Jungfrau. It was a bit of a cattle market, really, wasn't it?
There were probably, I don't think I'd be wrong probably saying there was about 500 people
Probably, yeah.
at the point where we arrived, all being funnelled into that tiny station with barely any signage whatsoever.
2 people running the queue.
2 people basically running that queue. One poor lady without any kind of megaphone or anything like that, or loudhailer, trying to shout as to whether, if you've not got a ticket, or if you're unreserved,
Yeah, so you haven't
i.e.
got a
you don't
seat-
have a seat number,
reservation, isn't it?
into the enormous
Main
queue.
queue.
If you had a reservation, into the much smaller queue that was basically straight through. Now, you can buy a reservation, but you have to do that sometime in advance. So you're taking a
They're
punt.
all sold out on the day, aren't they?
You're taking a punt on the weather.
Yeah.
So if you buy a reservation, if the weather's great, well done, took a good bet. If the weather's rubbish, oh well, that's when you're going. Tough.
Yeah.
But you will get to the front of the queue and you'll get there more quickly. If you don't have a reservation, you're into that enormous queue. And I'm trying not to be too harsh here, but there's a typical European thing of where they don't queue like us British. It gets a bit pushy shovey.
Yeah.
The odd person diving under the barrier, much to the chagrin of everybody else.
Well, the barriers are those fabric tapes.
Just the fabricy tape
which
thing. So
people
one
can
kid
kind
goes
of
under
just
and like, oh, I'm
push
just following my child, and
Yeah.
off they go.
Come back.
Whoops.
Like, oh, you know,
shucks.
lost my place back
I
in
happened
the-
to be
yeah.
500 people ahead of where I should be.
It's a bit.
And it was really wide. You're probably between 8 and 10 people across until it got to the slightly narrower bit, but even then you were 4 or 5 people across in this queue.
Snaking.
And then when it finally got to the end, after you'd got your way all the way towards the end, everybody was pushing and shoving. The guy at the who was running the crowd just basically kept saying, if you keep pushing and shoving, I won't let you through. And he did just literally that and put the tape across it.
And then a train would go with a few seats spare where he could have filled them. And
Yeah.
then it was all
As
just
a kind of punishment,
Yeah.
semi-punishment for
we-
misbehaving, basically.
It was really busy when we got there. We
Yeah.
waited about 90 minutes.
About
or
an hour and a
so.
half in that queue, but there's no indication when you join the back of that
Yeah.
queue
How long?
as to how long you might be in that queue. You haven't got a clue.
And there's also no water. If you obviously go to the toilet or whatever, you've got to try and get back to your place in
Yeah.
the queue, which to be honest, you probably could do because everyone was pushing through
Yeah.
and moving around. But
Yeah.
it was just hot. Really just
Yeah.
frustrating. But anyway,
The irony, when you're standing there in a very hot queue, quite tired because it's still quite early in the morning, no idea how long you're going to be there, being slightly stressed, because what I should also say is if you buy that good morning ticket that requires you to get on one of the first 3 trains, you must be off the mountain by 1:15 in the afternoon. And when you're sitting there or standing there at 9:30 and you're thinking, I'm not even up the mountain yet, how long am I going to take to get up the mountain, and I've got to get off it? Am I going to be able to get off it before I even got up there?
that was quite stressful, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And we managed to get up there about
11 o'clock-ish,
half
I
10,
think,
11.
wasn't it?
I think we left at 10:30, got there about 11.
Yeah.
So obviously had a couple of hours and then had to head back. So not long really. Anyway,
Yeah.
the other big problem that we found was tour groups. Now, bearing in mind, I've got nothing against tour groups whatsoever. There was just a lot of them. And
So many.
for 2 reasons really. First reason, when we're in that kind of middle station where everyone's trying to get the train to the top, the tour groups had kind of preferential treatment. So when a tour group arrived with 30, 40, 50 people in, it went through a tour group entrance, straight down to the platform, straight on a train and up. And when you've been waiting there for 90 minutes, you kind of feel a bit aggrieved about that. I'm sure they've paid, and that's
Well, they
all,
will have paid,
it's all
but
part-
it's
no,
just...
no, I mean paid the privilege
Yeah,
to
but
do
it's
it
just
and
still a
everything, but
bit...
It's just really frustrating. But then when you get to the top, there's kind of an hour and a half walking loop, which takes you around all the major elements of the Jungfrau and all the different attractions and everything else. And as you're walking around that loop, you'll get to a point where a tour group will have stopped because they're talking about something, and they're literally blocking the entire route that you're supposed to be walking around. So you have to kind of push your way through all of the tour group and everything, like moving them out of the way. And you might think that's fine, but when you're doing it every couple of 100 metres,
Or less than that.
or less,
Less than
there
that.
are so many tour groups there, it's
Yeah.
a little bit frustrating towards the end.
And the other frustration is that all of the restaurants, they've all been booked out for all of the tour groups.
Yes.
So to try and just get a quick bite to eat, no, it's not happening. So,
So
yeah.
I know this sounds really negative, but we just want to give you the honest truth. If you're going to come here, if this has been your dream to come here to the Jungfrau, to see it in all its glory, look at TripAdvisor. That's the only thing I'd say, because that's, people write their own experiences on there. You can gauge for yourself, right or wrong. Read TripAdvisor is what we'd say, because we didn't before.
I think if we'd read TripAdvisor, I think we'd have still done it.
Yes.
So I'm not saying that. I think we'd have still done it. I think we'd have been a bit more prepared. I think we'd have taken some lunch with us, some drinks. We'd have gone sort of fully prepared rather than we know it's going to be expensive, but we'll just buy it up there.
No,
we didn't even manage to buy it up there. Basically, we ended up back down at Grindelwald at about 2:30 in the afternoon.
Be prepared to stand in a queue, take some
lunch.
water.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Or buy a ticket in advance, pay the premium for your reservation, know that you're going to get there when you get there, and take your chances with the weather.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's basically it. And I have to say, in terms of value for money, I think when we first bought the tickets, when we first got here, it's translated as 350 francs.
350 Swiss francs, that's translated into £311.
So that sounded like an awful lot of money for this, because basically we thought it was a train ride up and down for both of us. It's a bit more than that. It is an attraction at the top. It is expensive. I'd say over the 2 days that we've been here, looking at how much it is to go to a restaurant, looking at how much it is to buy basic ingredients to make a dinner, drinks, anything, it's all really expensive in Switzerland, which probably puts that price in a bit more of a perspective. So yes, it's expensive. It's probably not as outlandishly as expensive as we first thought, because everything in Switzerland is expensive. So, but it is 311 quid, and that was for just the half day tickets.
Yeah, that was
the
that
early
good
birds.
morning ticket. It would have been closer to 500 if we'd have gone for the just standard, I want to go up there at a time I choose and come down whenever. There are a load of attractions that you can do up at the top as well.
They cost more.
Zip lines and snow tubing and all manner of bits and pieces. Again, costs more. If you want a bottle of Coca-Cola, you're looking at about, what was it, £5?
Yeah, I had a
like
500ml bottle of Coke. You had a bottle of
fizzy
apple, and we had shared a Twix, a normal Twix. That was 15 francs, which was £12.30 or something. Get ready for it if you come. But you're on top of Europe up there. 3,400 metres up. They've got to get the stuff up there somehow, haven't they? And then it's obviously Swiss pricing as well. So anyway, would we go back? Probably not.
I don't think I would.
I wouldn't. I don't think.
We've seen it.
Yeah, it's great to do.
It's great.
To do. Would I come back to this campsite?
Yes.
Yes, there's loads to do around here. We could spend another 3 or 4 days here and still not exhaust what this area has got to do.
But we did also see, when we went down into Interlaken on the train today, a little campsite directly opposite the train station, just over the other side of the river.
Yeah, we need to have a look for the name of that.
And that looked lovely. And Interlaken is one of the main stations to be able to go anywhere from.
It's so easy.
As well. So
easy.
I think if we were coming back, it'd either be here or maybe down into Interlaken, and that's it.
We might have a look at a rail card or a Swiss pass or something if we were coming back for another 3 or 4 days to do some of the other activities, and because Grindelwald itself, Grindelwald First and those kind of things, there are other attractions here which we haven't had time to do, which sound great. We just run out of time. So definitely come back to this area, definitely come back to this campsite here at Camping Jungfrau. Amazing. You've seen the scenery, it's just awesome.
And the site's nice.
And the site's nice
as well.
Yeah, apart from the slightly boggy nature of it.
They can't really help that.
Which they can't help. It has been raining a lot recently. We'd be back. But tomorrow, we're off again, aren't we?
Yep.
So off to the Bodensee tomorrow. 5-hour drive ahead of us.
Yep. Another long one.
Another long one, but that's fine. That's our touring holiday.
We're going to the German shore of
Yes.
the Bodensee or Lake Constance, so that should be good.
Camping
Blick.
Alpenblick. Yeah, we'll give you a full tour of that when we're there, of course. We might even have a special little visit planned while we're there, but we're not sure yet. We'll have to see how our days pan out. Just maybe weather dependent as well. But do tune in for that next episode. And thank you for watching our little trip to the Jungfrau. See you soon.